Hi, I'm Eli with Rocky Mountain Day Hikes. Today I'm at the Fern Lake Trailhead, and we're planning on doing the Pool Cub Lake Loop, which is 5.5 miles round trip. So why don't you join me for what should be a great hike? It's late October here in Rocky Mountain National Park. It's a bit chilly out, and there is snow up at higher elevations along the divide. But down here at about 8,000 feet, uh, all the snow from the most recent storm has melted. So the trail is snow free. I brought my spikes but didn't need them. As we hike along this trail, it's pretty hard to miss the many trees that appear charred, and that's a result of the East Troublesome Fire, which took place in the fall of 2020. The fire came in from the west, hopped the divide, and landed here in this canyon, ending here in the park. So it looks like we're approaching a feature along the trail known as Arch Rocks. So this trail runs parallel to the Big Thompson River. There is some ice in the river, but is still flowing strong. Later in the season, however, it will freeze over. The trail is generally mild. The round trip elevation gain is about 500 feet. Overall, it's a very doable trail, even terrain, and really no obstacles to have to avoid. So here we are at our first stop. This is the pool, which is a deep portion of water along the Big Thompson, fed by a series of waterfalls. To some, this may be their end destination, in which case would be an easy, moderate hike, very doable. However, for us today, we're going to continue on to Cub Lake. So at the pool is a trail junction indicated by a couple of signs. In one direction we have Fern Lake and Odessa Lake, and in the other we have Cub Lake, Mills Creek, and a couple of other features. We'll be following this sign and heading this direction. So earlier I mentioned there was no snow or ice on the trail. Well, that's quickly changed as soon as we started our ascent up to Cub Lake. I have my spikes. I don't know if I'll use them quite yet, but this time of year it's always wise to bring some sort of traction device with you, even if you may not even use them. So the portion of the trail between the pool and Cub Lake is probably where most of the elevation gain lies, and that's about a quarter of the loop in which that takes place. This area, the Cub Lake area, led by two fires, both human-caused, one in 2012, the Fern Lake Fire, and then the 2020 East Troublesome Fire. So here we are at Cub Lake. As you can see, it's got plenty of lily pads on top of it, but we'll have to come back in the summer when they're in full bloom. My degree is in geology with a focus in geomorphology. In other words, the way erosive processes carve the earth. And so what I love about being in this portion of the park and the mountains in general is clear evidence of how water has carved these canyons and filled these lakes, much like Cub Lake and much like the Big Thompson River. To the west, we have the glaciers, which melt and cause runoff, which in turn carve the canyons that we see today. So the mountains in Rocky Mountain National Park really tell a clear story of the many millennia that precede today. Well, that was a great stop here at Cub Lake. I was able to enjoy a lovely snack. Now we'll continue onward to complete our loop hike and finish up at Cub Lake Trailhead. Trailhead. That was a great loop hike this beautiful October day. Now we've just got a short road